Facebook Hangouts.
Hi, Jared.
Right.
I think we might be live on Facebook. If not, I'll do another intro. That's okay. I'm gonna check right now. But this is the Horror Syndicate, and we don't have a name because this is a special presentation. We've decided. We've been talking about this since the first footage dropped. Okay, turn your volume down. There we go. Since the first footage dropped of Halloween Kills in the news, I guess. What's the other one called? Halloween Dies?
Dies, I'm pretty sure.
Halloween Ends.
Ends. Okay, Dies, Ends, whole thing. Death is only the beginning. I'll be back. So anyway, we got Jared, who you're familiar with.
Hello.
We've got Keith.
Hello.
And then we've got, yes, I'll say it, our resident Halloween expert, Seth Miller. And I say that because this fool has read all the bullshit scripts that have not been made into movies and broke them down on our website. A lot of you have probably read them, especially I think it was the Halloween 4 one that had the most views.
Yeah.
But they're all fun reads, especially those who don't want to sit through the scripts and read them like me. So we're going to talk, first of all, we're going to talk about Halloween 2018, and then we'll talk a little bit about Halloween Kills and kind of theorize what we think may happen, how Michael escapes his fiery tomb, and what maybe lies in the future post-Halloween Ends. I can't get used to that. I do not like the titles. I don't like
them either.
Yeah.
Same.
First of all, I don't like that they called the 2018 movie just Halloween. That still bugs me. You know, I guess they could have called it Halloween Returns, but that 2016 movie was called that. So anyway, Halloween 2018. And if you're watching with us, which we don't expect anybody to watch because it's been a long time since.
We've got 15 viewers.
Do we really?
Yes, we do. 12 now. You
12,
said something, Ray.
Yeah. So if you have any comments or you have something that you'd like to say, let us know. We'll read it aloud on the live feed and talk about Halloween with us a little bit. Halloween Kills. So Halloween 2018 picks up immediately after Halloween 1978, 40 years later. That doesn't make sense. So, because immediately after 40 years later doesn't make sense.
But it's immediate from the last movie, at least.
Yeah, I mean, they skip over everything else, especially the blockbuster Halloween Resurrection. But let's talk about it. What are some of the things you like? Everybody knows what happened in the movie. If they haven't seen it by now, then they're just probably shouldn't be watching. They're going to be lost. But what are some of the we talked about a little bit before we started the show? Fucking dog again. Anyway. Where's Michael Myers when you need him? He could eat that dog. So, what are some of the things you like? I will start with Seth. What are some of the things you liked about? Because you're a big Halloween guy. What are some of your favorite key things? Some of the things you didn't like.
Well, some of the things I didn't like some of the characters. I thought the teenage characters were pretty much useless, especially Allison.
Yeah.
I didn't like the father, Ray.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Watch out for that. Watch out for that peanut butter. And
so my penis.
And I wish there was a little bit more stalking going on in the movie. Yeah. It was Michael just going from house to house, killing. What made the original so effective was.
Do you feel like he was making up for lost time? That's how I took it. It's like I got to get fucking going.
Well, he's not getting any younger.
That's a good point.
It's like 53 at this point, right?
61.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I agree with most of those points.
Man, he can almost file for AARP now. Jeez.
Yeah.
But I like the mask. I like the tone of the movie. I love the score. John Carpenter's score was fantastic.
Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely love that. And it was a good way for the series to come back after the Rob Zombie movies, in my opinion.
Wonderful.
I know how much you love Part 2.
Oof.
Oof. Oof.
I felt like saying something, but then I just burped. So that's probably the best way to explain how I feel.
Good enough.
Yeah, right. What about you, Keith? Some of the things that you like, some of the things that you didn't like.
I agree with Seth on the score. I literally just watched it before we started doing this because I had nothing else to do. So it is very fresh in my brain. The score I absolutely love. One thing that I always hated was the scene when he finally gets his mask out of the trunk. It just feels like a rap music video to me for some reason. Like with the sleek black car. I don't know. It always felt like a rap music video.
Well, did notice there were bitches getting out of the car before?
I actually like the dad Ray. I think he's actually funny. I like the peanut butter on his penis part. Make Ray spit his water up. The symbolism at the end with Allison holding the knife actually has to do with like my theories for the next movies, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
I just thought that was because Laurie kept tossing it aside in the original movie. Like, what the hell's wrong with her? She's every time she has the knife, she just tosses it aside.
The one thing that does bother me is Laurie's had 40 years to prepare herself, but she doesn't have a fence on her front door, apparently. She has a glass door.
Oh, yeah.
And she has a room full of mannequins.
Yeah, what's that about? I know that doesn't she have like a storage shed?
I get it. You could store them, but why are you going to store them in the room you're trying to trap Michael in or close off to make sure he's not in? And leave it full of mannequins.
Maybe to confuse him.
Yeah, I guess. It's always the nitpicking things, but I like the movie overall. Yeah, it ends up confusing her.
Yeah.
That's the big point.
What about things you didn't like?
Didn't like...
Oh, you already said that.
I don't like the boyfriend. He's just kind of there.
The douche at the party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a point besides his dad apparently used to sell peyote. That's
He's
like the
no
only
Bob.
story point.
Yeah, he's no Bob, that's for sure.
Well, his dad is Lonnie Lamb, the kid that was bullying Tommy in the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to... Is there word he's coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I know there's a lot of characters coming back.
Yeah, he's
hope
being
they
played.
drip Tommy Jarvis with a fucking pumpkin. Not Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Doyle.
That would be
I
an
hope they drip
interesting
Tommy
movie.
Jarvis too. Well, okay, Jared, how about you? I know it's been a while since you've seen that one.
I mean, coming from the aspect I've only seen it once. When they were in the back of the pickup and she was brandishing the knife, I kind of like got the idea that there was kind of like a carrying over of the...
Like a passing of the torch?
Yeah, totally.
I can see that.
I kind of got like feelings of the girl from 4 and 5. Is it supposed to be Laurie's daughter or
Jamie?
Jamie? Yeah, where she like at the end of 5 when she gets the knife and kind of becomes Michael. At first, 4. Okay, 4.
Yep.
I kind of got the feeling of like they're trying to pass the torch that way, but
Get your shit straight, millennial. Come
sorry. The more I watch it, I get more of the she's just understanding how she has to defend herself now, like her grandmother did.
Yeah. I think
That's kind of what I got too.
for me, I really liked the movie when I saw it in the theater. Everything about it. The one thing that really bothered me more than anything was I love that they paid homage to the original movie with the opening and reinflating the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern, but it went so fast. Like the credits were popping up so fast. That's just a little nitpicky thing, and I hope they do a similar thing to this like they did with Halloween 2. I really don't think they should have skipped Halloween 2 in my opinion, because they almost didn't need to.
Jonathan Brooke asked, do you guys think that Allison will take over Michael's rage like Jamie did?
No. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think she will either.
Good question, though.
I think she has enough of a support group.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this next, because then I believe, let's go into it, Halloween Kills. I believe from everything we know is it takes place immediately after Halloween 2018, right? So, because it looks like Laurie is in the hospital or going to the hospital, maybe, from some of the screen grabs and the little short.
Well, plus the nurse from part 2 is supposed to be in it.
Yeah, but what does she have? She's old as shit by this point.
I'm guessing
And
she's still going to be a nurse.
Are you talking about Marion Chambers?
I believe so, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, she's really old by now. Because she'd be in her 70s. She wouldn't be a nurse. She'd be retired. Why is she wearing her nurse's outfit? But also, there's a nurse that pulled the gun that we saw in Halloween. I think Seth and I talked about that a little bit. the girl in the nurse costume.
Mhm.
Oh, Halloween Kills looks so weird. I'm curious to see where it's going to go. But I have a feel. So my question is, timeline wise, in October, it gets dark around 5:30, right? Ish, 6 maybe. So what time of night did everything take place at Lori's house? And because we're bleeding over into November 1st.
Well, if they're having a costume party at the school, I mean, I would feel it's around like 7-ish.
Yeah. So it's probably 10 o'clock at night, I'd say. That's something that I'm a stickler for. Because when I watch Halloween 2, I always wonder, why is the hospital so goddamn empty? It's the middle of the night, and there's nobody there. There's like 3 nurses and...
on Halloween night of all nights.
Right. I mean, you'd think they'd be busy. Haddonfield is a small town, but it's big enough to have its own hospital. But like, so I kind of wonder that because Lori, I believe, is going to the hospital, which everybody else is going to the hospital too. Because what's her name? What's her daughter's name in this one?
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. She's still wearing that hideous sweater. So anyway, let's talk. What kind of theories? Anybody watching here on Facebook? Do you have any theories that you want to spit out at us, or any questions that we may like to answer? If you've seen the sizzle reel, it's only like a minute maybe. We see Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy Doyle, not Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
I got to get my Tommies straight. And the one thing I'm curious, is Michael going to go back? Are they going to do this in the fucking hospital? Is he going to go after Lori in the hospital again?
I hope not, because that'd just be obviously way too similar to Halloween's 2.
A little redundant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be cool if like maybe he starts chasing them at the hospital and they leave or something.
Well, I think that Lori is going to be my personal theory is that Lori is going to be she's not going to be as big of a character in this because they are bringing back Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, Marion Chambers, Lee Brackett, and they did kind of mention how they were going to be TAC-1, how that night in 1978 affected them. So I think we're going to see more of an ensemble. So I think, we'll have Lori in the hospital, Karen will be there, but I think a lot of the movie is probably going to be about the other characters, and then Laurie Strode will come back in for Halloween Ends when she's a little bit more healed and go from there. But I think it's going to be more about the other characters. I don't think there's going to be a lot at the hospital in this one, in my personal opinion.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, I mean, first of all, the journey to wherever he's going, because he's going to get out of the basement somehow. So you got to wonder, like, first of all, how far away is Laurie's house from Haddonfield?
Yeah.
And how long is there going to be a car? I guess there might be a police car there. Well, Seth mentioned. Now I'm hoping this happens. I mentioned this earlier. I hope that the fire department comes. Michael crushes a fireman's larynx, and he puts on the fireman costume and rides back into Haddonfield. What do you guys think?
I can see it.
I could see it.
No, I mean that would be straight from H2O though. Come on.
I think he's determined enough to walk back to town. I mean, in the movie,
Busta Rhymes is in it.
I mean, he was literally going to walk around and just find her house eventually, but the cop decided to hit him.
He didn't walk around to find her house. He got driven there.
Yeah. But I was saying he was going to walk around until he found it. But
no,
they kind of give the impression it was probably like 5 to 10 minutes at least outside of town.
I don't think at all Michael had any kind of agenda to find Lori in Halloween. I think that he was just back. Like I said, I felt like there was some urgency to his killing. That's why he did it. So he was going house to house almost, and then Lori finds him. And so I don't think he went after her. He was taken to her, and he's like, "Oh, okay, this bitch." So I don't know why he'd go back to town and go try to find her. I think he'd go back to town and try to just resume what he was doing, and that's when Tommy Doyle. We see him with a bat at one point, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen. By the way, Paul Rudd gave his blessing for him to play Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, I didn't fully understand that.
It's dumb. It's just when old characters get recast, they're like, it's cool that they play that, you know. Like it'd be a big deal if like somebody's was recast as Freddy Krueger and Robert Englund was like, yes, this guy will do it. That's fine. But Paul Rudd as Tommy gives a shit. Paul Rudd wasn't even the original Tommy Doyle. It was that crazy dude? Brian
Andrews.
Yeah,
Andrews, yeah.
He's a fucking nut. Let's get him on the show.
It's just I can see why he did that because he's kind of a popular name now, and so like everybody was like, "Oh, is he gonna reprise the role?" Yeah.
I wanted him to, but he's going
Paul Rudd. It doesn't
yeah.
make sense. He was in a
It
movie
doesn't, but it'd be fun. But he's doing Ghostbusters, so.
Yeah,
And he's from Kansas City. That's cool too.
Yeah. John Brooks also said, so did they film the new movie in Illinois? No, it was in North Carolina, I believe, right? Same place that they filmed the last one. Or South Carolina, one of the two.
I got nothing.
South Carolina, I believe.
South Carolina, because it looks just like Illinois. I should know. I live in Illinois. So,
see, my theory is Jamie is going to die in Halloween Kills. And that's why.
Jamie.
Yes, Jamie is going to die in Halloween Kills.
Jamie.
Yes.
Jamie died in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. You mean Laurie?
Laurie, I keep saying Jamie Lee Curtis is what I'm meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laurie Strode is going to die in Halloween Kills.
Oh, so you hold on. You and Jamie Lee are on a first name basis. That's
Nice.
what it is.
We could only wish.
I actually agree with that to an extent. I think that Halloween Kills needs to have a shock ending. It needs something that's gonna hook the audience and make them want to be like, holy
Want to
fuck,
watch
when
the
is-
end one?
Yeah, when the fuck is Halloween Ends coming out? Because
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like in Halloween's End, Alice is going to, like in the knife scene in the end of the first one, she's going to actually take up the mantle and kill Michael in the last one.
Oh, so you think she'll do what Jamie Lee couldn't do? I'm sorry, Jamie. We're on first name.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would make sense too. Because I mean, Michael killed her best friend.
Yeah.
Michael killed her dad. I'm thinking Karen's gonna die as well. I think her boyfriend Cameron's gonna die. So I think.
So you think they're gonna bring him back in the story?
Yeah.
Well, if his dad's going to be back, I would imagine they might.
I believe he is cast in the
Is
movie.
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what? That's the Lonnie's going to be in, and Lonnie's one of my favorite characters from the original movie, just because he needed to get his ass away from there.
I love the look of satisfaction on Loomis's face.
I do too. That's like my favorite thing. No matter what, how upset I can be if I see that look on Donald Pleasant's face, I can tap. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
The boyfriend is cast in the new one. Kills.
So I wonder, like, if
Okay.
what do you think there might be like some kind of lynch mob thing happening looking for Michael?
It's supposed to be.
I could see that. Tiki torches abound.
So they're going to pull a Freddy.
Well, I mean the what's it the name of the production was called Mob Rules. So
Oh, really?
yeah. Even though people know that it's Halloween, but they still try to hide it and call it Mob Rules.
Yeah,
I think because of that.
Maybe that's what that. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're gonna. I mean, that's why Charles Cyphers is back and Marion Chambers. Maybe they're all coming back and getting the gang together, getting Lindsay and Tommy, and we're gonna fuck shit up. Because there's a scene also that we see. Is it Lindsay at the playground?
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah. Why is she at the playground in the middle of the night? It's like, yeah, I'm curious. This movie could be all out madness. I mean, we don't even have a trailer yet, and
We've had that like short glimpse trailer that didn't really show much.
Sizzle reel. It's the sizzle reel.
I'm tired of the teaser trailers that aren't actually teaser trailers. They're trailers.
Pretty much.
Is Danny McBride coming back to write for this one?
Yeah.
Is he okay? Already
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and a new screenwriter named Scott Teems. They're writing it, and then Danny McBride and David Gordon Green and two other new screenwriters are doing Halloween Ends.
Oh shit!
Which they're filming both of them back to back. So because we're getting one this year and one next year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what they should do just to fuck people up is release Halloween Ends first. Then they're like, what happened in the middle? Then they'll come back for Halloween.
do like a Quentin Tarantino thing.
You
Yeah.
have
The
to come
fuck?
back now.
Yeah. I think that would be no. I'm interested to see what happens. I mean, Halloween. The thing I wonder about all of this, and I always wonder, Halloween is going to endure and come back like it always does, no matter what.
Mhm.
Is this going to push us into a situation? Are they going to actually kill Michael off at the end of all of this? You think?
I think they will, if the studio lets them.
I hope he's like caught between an ambulance and a tree, and Allison decapitates him with the fucking the knife behind you, Keith. She just no, how would you kill? You know what? This is how you do it. Toss a stick of dynamite to Allison. He sticks it right in his chest. He explodes. And the kids right before it. So
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Okay, fine. There's a family dagger. Family dagger. It's got to be done by Myers, and turns out Lori was his sister all this time, and she just stabbed him. Wait a second.
Yes.
What if Michael Myers passes himself into a doll? And
God.
I got so many endings. I mean, they're just plagiarized endings, but whatever.
I just hope they come up with a good reason for how he gets out of the freaking basement. That's not stupid and half-assed.
Well, I mean, we talked about it in short about those final glimpses, which was another thing I liked. It was a nice touch to like what Carpenter did in the original movie when they showed the places he'd been, kind of.
Yeah,
but you didn't see Michael burning in the basement. So, how did he get out? What do you guys think?
And if he just got out, why was Laurie stupid enough to have 40 years worth of preparation to leave an exit?
What if there's a panic room down there and he found the panic room and got in there?
The people before Laurie had it were also
This is a bomb shelter from 1941.
The only thing I could think of earlier when I was watching it is the little like shed area where she has her gun rack behind the wall. Maybe he climbs in there and like shutters it to keep. But I don't know if fire would like go through that steel, or it would obviously heat up. I don't know if it would cook him.
I'd be okay with like a melted mask to his face.
I would like it, but I don't know if I would. If they did it right.
Halloween Resurrection there, the melted mask. That's one of the things I was looking forward to with the next Halloween movie, Retribution, which sounds like a killer movie.
Is that sarcasm?
A little bit. If anybody's wondering what happens in the what would have been in the 9th movie, Seth wrote up a nice little write-up. It's on the Horror Syndicate. I think it's the first article on the website, horrorsyndicate.com. Check it out. And then check out all of his other ones because they're, well, like I said, you don't have to read all the scripts.
He's going outside the box, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm excited. Even though the second or third time I watched the 2018 Halloween, it lost a lot for me. And it's like when I watched it the first time, I was like, damn it, this is really good. And I'm glad I just wish they wouldn't have skipped over 2. But like, I'm really interested to see what happens because, that's the whole point. We knew there was going to be 3 of them at least, right?
Well, they even talked about it before they released that one. They talked about doing 3 back to back to back, and they're like, let's just release one to make sure our careers aren't over first.
It didn't make as much money as I thought it would, honestly. It's like I was surprised because it made $700 million, and that was Halloween. So Halloween running the Horror Syndicate, I've noticed Halloween seems to be, I call it the face of horror because everybody knows Halloween. Everyone does. It doesn't matter if you're a regular person, whatever. There are people that I work with that change their ringtone to the Halloween theme in October. And I'm like, oh, you a horror fan? No, I love Halloween. Of course you do. Everybody loves Halloween. But it's true. Everybody loves Halloween. I expected Halloween to do at least 500. It didn't even sniff that. But it still did really well. It did. 200.
It did way better than The Turning.
Jesus.
They did the best out of any in the franchise.
Well, let's talk about Rotten Tomato scores because I believe Halloween Resurrection has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score if you look at it backwards.
You mean the lowest Rotten Tomato?
I said if you look at it backwards. No, I don't know. So what do you hope for? That's the good question. Like Seth, Keith, anybody just chime in. What do you hope for? What do you want to see more than anything? Not just your theories. Is there anything you're looking that you want to see that could happen?
I think it's like Seth said. I want more of the stalking.
Mm-hmm.
More of the.
He's not. I don't think he's going to have time to do that in this one.
I don't think he will. I mean, I get why he doesn't do it in the. Like, I don't get what he's trying to do in the first one. Like when he gets out, is he trying to look for his old house?
No, I think he's
just roaming.
I think he's no. So they made him out to be more of a psychopath rather than having an agenda in this new.
See, that was the other thing that bothered me because he's supposed to be pure evil, but he doesn't kill the baby. Pure evil would kill the baby.
Yeah,
which I get they do it for audience shock, but
I mean, a lot of people were upset about him killing that preteen kid in the
kid who wanted to go to dance class.
Yeah. So I understand why they didn't cross that line.
I get why they didn't, but I mean, if he's supposed to be pure evil, he would not care.
Yeah. Not just pure evil. He's like a force, you know, and that's that force wouldn't. That's like a tornado. That wouldn't stop for anything. Well, I like that house. Let me move around. That house looks innocent. So let me skip past it.
Do you want to see? Do you guys want to see Michael use any different weapons? We got to see him use a hammer in this one and a knife.
I want to see him just use that one or two fingers he's got left to poke somebody in the eyes, like the Three Stooges.
And Kersey uses an axe, isn't it?
I mean, he's used all kinds of weapons already, so it's not. I mean, in other movies, it wouldn't be that new. One of my favorite kills of all the movies is when he stuffs the fucking double barrel shotgun through that chick, and then into the door, or when he kills Grady and squeezes. I love Halloween 4. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like the night, I don't give a shit about what weapon he uses. Just like Jason, it doesn't really matter. I like it when he uses his hands more, though. You know.
Yeah, I like the bathroom scene. Did you guys like the bathroom scene?
With Demon, and he was singing "Ooh Baby, Ooh Baby."
Oh baby.
Damn enchiladas.
Baby.
More shock or. I mean, anybody in Facebook world that's watching have any questions? Any more questions about or anything they think's going to happen? We'd love to hear your theories of what might happen in Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills, and how will Michael die? Like seriously, that's one question that keeps. If he's going to die, how is he going to die? Or will they set it up for yet another sequel? Or will they set it up for Michael versus Freddy versus Pinhead?
What if they don't kill Michael? What if they what if they do more of like a, I don't know, trap him in a hole of cement kind of deal, or bury him in some box, etc., etc.
Or frozen in carbonite.
I don't know.
We're gonna pull a Jason X. Hockey's been outlawed.
Oh God, I hope not.
I don't know. I think they're gonna kill him. Like I remember when going into Halloween H2O, thinking like, how do you kill this guy? They've tried blowing him up and all this different stuff, and then finally at the end they decapitate him. Like, yeah, that's the way to do it. That'll stop him for sure. And then they fucked that up because that movie was trash anyway. Let's face it, Halloween H2O sucks. So does Resurrection. Anyway, crickets. Anyway, yeah, I thought that was a cool way. But at the same time, I don't want them to do that again because that's old hat.
I feel like every horror franchise has so many movies that like it writes itself into a corner with how to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think with Halloween 2018 though, they kind of made it seem like Michael was a little bit more human, that he can be hurt and he can be killed. And I do believe he's going to die at the end of Halloween Ends, and then they'll start a brand new timeline because this is a choose your own adventure series now.
Yeah. Which I actually like.
And so I do think he's going to die, and I think the series will continue on with a new timeline. But I think they did kind of make him more on the human side in 2018. So,
Well, I mean, they took his fingers off.
Mhm.
You've never seen that happen to me before. He's almost invincible, like a Jason.
I sat up in my chair when that happened.
You
I like
what?
that. I sat up in my chair when that happened. I like that.
I did, and I was like, now he's going to have no fucking fingers. How's he going to grip that knife? He's going to have to be a lefty now.
Maybe he's ambidextrous.
This is a funny comment from Jonathan Brooks. What if he has a heart attack? What if he does? What if all of a sudden he's going in and he keels over?
Honestly, that would be a great ending.
Yeah, I mean, considering these guys are comedy writers for the most part.
You go through an hour and a half watching the movie, and he tries to get the last kill, and he just falls over and dies.
Yeah. Joey Luna says they're gonna get the Monster Squad to take him down. Well, they'll just send him to Limbo. They need
Luna.
They need a version first, right? Is she a version? Will Allison take over the Laurie role? And that we kind of talked about that before.
That's what I think.
You think she'll go after him on her own? No, you don't think so? Like her grandmother's in the hospital, and there's an argument between her mom and her, and she's like, "I'm going after him."
No,
I think it would. I think if she does it, it'll take Laurie dying.
I can see that.
I have to take that to push her over the edge to just be like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, it wouldn't be in Halloween Kills. It would be in Halloween Ends if that was to happen.
Yeah.
But the only reason I don't like that idea in my head is because we have all these other characters popping up. Are they just gonna like sit to the side, or is Michael literally just gonna kill them all?
I don't know. I think the whole idea of the mob mentality with all of them coming together to hunt down Michael could be fun to see, but like, are they gonna ever find him?
Some of them are just old.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tommy and Lindsay are what they'd be about 50 now.
Yeah, they're fine, but there's like the officer that's coming back.
Any given character can have a heart attack at this point. I mean, Charles Cyphers or whatever. What's the point of bringing him back? You know who they need to bring back is Bo Starr. They need to bring him back. He was a sheriff in 4 or 5.
Oh my god.
I like the idea of Sheriff Brackett coming back, though. I like Charles Cyphers coming back because, if you take away Halloween 2, you don't really know his reaction to Annie dying.
That's true.
That's a good point.
And
that's a good point.
In 2018, Annie's not even mentioned at all. I think, it's kind of a missed opportunity for Laurie not to even have anything, like maybe a picture of Annie and Linda to look at or, something. And I've been wanting Charles Cyphers to come back for a long time now for that reason. So I think it'd be kind of fun to have him back and maybe get some closure.
I kind of hope that with his character, I really do like him. And the one thing about Halloween 2, because I really do like Halloween 2 quite a bit, was they took his character out of it, which made sense for what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing, I hope he sees a news report on the TV, and he's in a hotel in Miami, and there's these pictures of these naked women behind him, and he's just sitting there watching, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I got to get back to Haddonfield," kind of like The Shining with Scatman Crothers. No, I don't know. He's really old though at this point. He's got to be in his 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, it'll be limited what he can probably do.
But like, what is the reaction for a town like Haddonfield? I mean, we saw Limited. Like most people, it seemed like it was so far in the past and so far out of people's minds that they almost didn't even register. By the time Halloween 6 comes around, they ban Halloween, which I guess makes sense because he only killed 6 people. How many people did he kill in the first movie? He killed Linda,
4 people.
Is it 4?
It's 5.
Well, if you count Judith, it's 5. But there was Judith, Linda, Annie, Bob, and the Phelps garage mechanic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And Lester the dog.
Really, he only killed 3 people in
no.
Haddonfield. Yeah, was he eating the dog? Is that really
Yeah.
thing? Wonderful.
Oh no.
That dog, by the way, stopped barking, so Michael might be out there. Now, somebody told me the front of my house looked like the Myers house, which is really cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm just like when are these bodies going to start getting discovered in these houses? You know, and what's the reaction of the Haddonfield PD?
Probably the next day when their kids come back from trick or treating.
I mean,
that same night, I guess.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks says maybe Michael will get the last kill and walk back to the Myers house and die.
After having his heart attack.
Yeah, so he gets the last kill and he's just done with the hunt and just.
Oh.
I don't know if the Myers house is still standing in this timeline, but
that's a good point. I would assume they would tear it down.
The Voorhees house is.
And then Jared Crank says, I want Lori to visit Annie and Linda's graves in 2018? 2020?
One of our friends from the Death Curse Society.
What up, Death Curse?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's a definite missed
opportunity.
Yeah, there are probably a lot of good missed opportunities. I mean, the pace of the movie was kind of, I think it was a little fast.
But also, if they put all those things in there, though, it would become very claustrophobic, maybe.
Well, I don't know, because if there's a scene where she goes to visit her granddaughter, and I mean, while she's in town, why wouldn't she stop at the cemetery?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the podcasters were at the cemetery. Why couldn't there could have been a moment there where they passed, Linda and Lori's headstones at least.
Does part of you wish that she would have went with the podcasters to meet Michael?
No.
Like in the actual prison? No?
No, I think that would have been, like, based on what she was going through, I think that would have been way out of character for her to just go.
I really did like Lori's character in this instead of the H2O. I liked her broken and...
I like the PTSD Lori.
Yeah.
Timid, yeah.
Yeah.
She did a really good job too.
Yeah, well, Jamie Lee Curtis is a really good actress, I think. But I think I like that version of Lori a little bit better than this one. I mean, one of the things I feel like another thing they could have done is had a more of a Blumhouse effect that they didn't have. Did they say when Loomis died? They just played that awful voiceover thing that was terrible of a Loomis fucking impersonator. That was one thing I absolutely hated, by the way.
Excuse me.
But they could. I mean, I would have loved to have Loomis to have had like some kind of effect on Lori's life, rather than her turning into Linda Hamilton from Terminator.
See, yeah, the way it seems like to me in the movie is like they did some trial and Loomis wanted him murdered and he died shortly after that or something. Like that's all it seemed like it was to me.
Nah, bro. Loomis lived in 95 and he beat the hell out of Michael Myers. And in some, No. They placed the stones around Michael Myers and he couldn't move. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
95
Right.
and Loomis just died.
Yeah.
That's one of my problems with any Halloween movie post Halloween 6. Honestly, is Dr. Loomis he is almost a franchise as much as Michael is, in my opinion, and that's one of the reasons I don't like H2O and Resurrection. I even like the Loomis in the Rob Zombie movies because he was different, but at the same time he was very, very similar.
He was fucking Malcolm McDowell, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least in the first one. I mean, the second one, he was a total fucking dickbag.
Yeah, that's true. He's barely registered.
Excuse my language.
No, you can cuss. It's okay.
Yeah. If Jared says it's okay, it's okay.
Fuck!
Don't celebrate it. Make it organic. Anyway, this new doctor and his. I mean, first of all, I called that shit immediately. That he talked about in the movie not seeing Myers in the field and all. I knew. I was like, this motherfucker. He's gonna pull some shit. I know it, and he did.
As soon as I saw him put that freaking mask on, I was like, please don't tell me he's gonna be Myers the rest of this movie.
I was hoping for that. I've been something.
I was like, no. He looks so freaking goofy.
He looked as goofy as the kid in Halloween 2007 wearing the Michael Myers mask.
It's
Like
just
his little giant on his head.
bobblehead.
I'm hoping he just beats the hell out of somebody with a baseball bat in the back of the head, sucker punches him in the back of the head with a baseball bat, then takes duct tape and wraps him up and cuts his throat. Anyway, I'm just gonna. I don't have many theories of these movies because it's hard to theorize with knowing so little. We haven't gotten a trailer yet, like a real trailer. It come out in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
October, about a week before Halloween.
Week before Christmas.
It's our
Before
Christmas.
Christmas.
So we've got probably another few months. It probably won't be released till the summer.
We'll get a trailer.
We'll get probably a teaser here in the next few months. Maybe Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possible.
Do you guys think they'll do? You think they'll stay with human Michael? Do you think they'll tickle into the whole curse thing at all?
You think they'll tickle into it?
Yeah, tickle into it.
I like that term.
I mean, I don't know.
Instead
if
of just
Myers
pushing him
is-
right into it, we're just gonna tickle it.
Because every time I watch the new Halloween, there's that scene where he's trying to give Michael the mask at the beginning, and everybody's just going batshit crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like there's some kind of like invisible force going on.
That's a good.
Because I don't know why else they would all be freaking out.
I mean, the dog is freaking out. That dog's barking and acting like an asshole. So, I mean, that could be one thing.
It's like,
but yeah,
you ate my
maybe-
brother.
Maybe because he doesn't react at all, and that brought a reaction out of him, and everybody else freaked out.
well, first of all, Obi-Wan shouldn't have done that. And that dude looks like Obi-Wan to me. I can't help it.
He does.
But, or Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hey, Michael, remember this?
That's kind of the effect that I got from it. Like Michael Myers didn't ever react around everybody, and that kind of caused a reaction out of him, and
Yeah.
then caused everybody else to freak the fuck out.
That could be. I mean, who knows what's going on in the mind of a person like that? Just like Michael Myers, nobody knows what goes on in his mind. So, and even the screenwriters, because he's different in every movie for the most part.
That's true.
Constantly has a new mask. Yeah, that's another thing I'm curious about. So if the mask did melt, could we see more Michael without a mask? Because I know that they played it up like that's his face. Because when he could have gone on killed those two.
What? He looks like William Shatner?
And what?
He looks like William Shatner?
Oh, yeah, the mask. No, but do you think we'll see more maskless Myers though in the next two movies? No?
I don't think we will. If it is, I think it might be like melted halfway off, so we get like an eye area exposed.
You would think it would have to be.
Or maybe we'll go back to bandage face Michael.
I don't know, from the teaser that they released, I know it was really quick, but some people screenshot some of those images, and it doesn't look like he was in the fire for very long. It doesn't look like the mask was really affected.
Oh, cool.
You know, there's the shot with him standing on the porch of Laurie's house with the house, in flames, water coming down. I'm believing that the fire department shows up. So my
He
theory
gets out
is,
somehow.
yeah.
So do you think he enjoyed the water shower from standing there?
He probably felt like R. Kelly for a moment.
So
No,
what do
he
you
had to
think
feel like the victim.
what do you think
He
your
felt like a
theory
teenage
is?
girl.
Well, I think that, because right after the house goes up in flames at the end of 2018, Lori, Allison, and Karen, they hop into the back of a truck. I believe that possibly, the fire department will come to Lori's house, but not know that she's out of there. So they'll go in looking for her, and they'll,
Oh yeah.
they'll free Myers accidentally, and then he'll get out and he'll just start his shit.
Yeah. Which there should have been cops on the way, because whenever those other cops go to Hawkins' vehicle, they say they've got the dead.
Mm-hmm.
What is his,
Yep, exactly.
What is his name? I keep wanting to say Wafatane or something.
Sartain.
Sartain. Yeah, they find him dead and call and tell people that he's dead. So there should be
Mhm.
people coming to
Mhm.
the house.
Yep.
Got another comment. Something we talked about before.
Apparently somebody's going to use my tickle into it line.
Yeah. It's gonna use it on the let us know when you do that in the show.
Kills will primarily take place in the hospital. Then since it's Blumhouse, they'll burn down the hospital to the end, to end the movie. Ends won't even have Myers, but there's a new company that's selling Halloween masks that kill people. Just my total original theory.
I like
So
that.
basically,
theory.
it's gonna be like the original.
As long as the song's in there to drive me batshit insane.
Don't you talk bad about that song.
I love Halloween 3. That's why I love it. That song makes me clinically insane.
Did you see the fan film?
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Which I think something like that. I think Tom Atkins is going to come back and play in Halloween Kills.
No way.
I mean, he's actually doing stuff. I mean, he's going to be in the new collector.
Do you think we'll get any other like cameos in the movie from actors from the rest of the series? Like I know what's her name, Danielle Harris wanted to be.
Yeah, she wants to be in everything.
I think she should be. I mean, she was in both other universes with Rob Zombies and
Hatchet,
Amy Lloyd. So I think that'd be kind of cool to have her in one of them somewhere. Not even a major player. You know, maybe a hospital worker or some shit. You know, I think it'd be cool to have her in there
as the horny nurse. Yeah,
as the
that's
horny
great.
nurse.
Maybe she can have a patient that's a little girl dressed up in a clown outfit.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I love stuff like that. I love fan service. You know, I don't know. I think
You're basic.
To see some of these other characters from the other movies, like maybe
I mean, I feel like they'll do something like that because they did the Halloween 3 costumes and.
Yeah, but those weren't actors though. Those were just subtle things, and
True.
they did that with I think they had like nods to almost all the other movies anyway. So, I mean, I watched a video where somebody picked them all out, and I'm like, oh, interesting. I didn't get that one from Halloween 6.
Well, when they first run to the truck in the new one, I was like, are they gonna pull a Texas Chainsaw? I thought Michael was there. Yeah, Michael was just gonna be chasing him down the road.
And he was going to dance on the street with his little knife.
Breaks a hip.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people got to think about his age. He could have a heart attack. I don't know. Would you guys be disappointed if that's how he died? With a heart attack?
Yes.
That'd be a little underwhelming.
I mean, it would be funny, but it would be funny, but it would be awful for like a serious thing.
What if his blood sugar got too low and he
need to stop and have a Snickers?
Gonna find him a Chihuahua.
He's 61 years old. I mean, that's pretty damn old. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. It comes out in October.
Jared Krink said he'd be up for Danielle Harris in a hot nurse's outfit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would be too. I'd like to see a cameo just because I think she got shit on with Halloween 5. Halloween 6. No matter what anybody says, she got. I think they should have just gave her the money she wanted. Who cares? Even if it was just a bit part. Because in the producer's cut, she had a longer role and her death was different. Yeah. So I would have given her the money because they just fucked everything up. But nothing against JC Brandy or anything like that. But I'd love to see her come back because she's been in like every timeline essentially. I'm racking my head trying to think of somebody else they could bring back just for a role, but really Halloween doesn't have the characters like a Nightmare on Elm Street does or a Friday the 13th does. Like, what's her name? Ellie Cornell. What's she doing? Nothing. Sasha Jensen. I mean, who they don't really. That's like a Nightmare on Elm Street. They remake that. They could bring Alice and Lisa Wilcox into it, and some of these other.
They should bring back Tina from Halloween 5.
Fuck Tina, man. She is the worst character in the whole series. I hate her. She ruined the whole movie for me. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I'm going to get into it. Why in the fuck would Jamie Lloyd be like so heartbroken over her and need her when Rachel's like her sister? Mm-hmm. Come on. Stupid movie.
You're welcome.
Well, who else could they bring into the fold? Brian Andrews should have a part. He's homeless, I think.
That's
Donald
unfortunate.
Pleasance. They should digitally insert Donald Pleasance, and they should de-age him.
I don't know.
And
Would you actually want that?
no, I don't. I'm joking. I mean, as much as I love Donald Pleasance, I would never want to see him digitally inserted into a movie like they did with Peter Cushing in Rogue One.
I liked that.
That blew me away.
No, I don't get me wrong. I liked it too.
I liked it.
I thought it looked fine. It's just, Peter. It made sense for the story, but don't just bring Dr. Loomis back just for bullshit. He's obviously dead anyway in the series.
I actually got like tears in the feels when I saw Peter Cushing. I was like, oh my god, he's been dead for like 40 years.
Darren Compton says he's gonna have a stroke.
Please don't.
You know what? Maybe Michael Myers has some memory issues. That's why he went house to house. Maybe he was really looking for Laurie. He couldn't remember where the fuck she lived.
He's looking for or he doesn't even remember that. Maybe he's looking for his parents.
He has Alzheimer's, you know. I mean, I hate joking about that shit, but maybe that's why whenever the guy's like, "Here's your mask," he's like, "What the fuck is that then?"
What is this?
Because he kind of turns his head. He's like, "Huh? What? I don't know what that is."
I don't remember this shit.
And then finally he breaks out, and I don't think the bus crash was his fault. I think it was somebody else's fault trying to break out. And Michael Myers just gets out and runs into those guys by happenstance and beats the shit out of them in the bathroom. And he's like, "Wait a second, they have my mask." I don't know. I mean, we can make fun of Michael Myers being old all day long, but truth be told, I'm not that far from there. I'm 21 years away from 61, so maybe I could be the killer next. Do you think they'll do some bullshit? Here's a good question. Some bullshit where they like Jamie Lloyd, except where they do have somebody pick up in a fourth movie, or it'll be a fifth movie, of picking up as Michael's heir apparent. You know, like maybe Lonnie. Well, he's in his 60s too, probably. No, you don't think anybody will pick up the knife and? Because
I don't think so.
You could look at that scene, and it's not. Oh, never mind. That's not family anymore.
No.
I think that once this new timeline is done, it's done, and they're going to move on to another. I don't think that there's going to be a sequel to this new storyline.
Well, let's speculate a little bit then for a few minutes. What do you think happens after Halloween ends? Do you think they'll do a complete reboot of the whole story, or do you think they'll make it current times? What do you think they would do?
What I would like for them to do, it's highly unlikely, but I want them to take the script for Halloween Returns and do that. Because if you look at that script, it acts as a sequel to a remake that was never made, and it does its own thing. And then at the very end, then it brings in like a Dr. Loomis again, and it just kind of establishes its own thing. I don't know.
Wait, it's a sequel to a remake that was never made.
Yes, well, because if you read the Halloween Returns script, okay. It begins.
Talking about the movie that was supposed to come out in 2016, right?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Halloween Returns.
Yeah.
It begins with Michael getting captured, right after getting shot off the balcony at the Doyle house. Okay, and then it picks up 10 years later. Okay, so if it was 10 years later from 1978, it'd be 1988. But the characters in the script have cell phones. There's modern technology, stuff like that. So. The script for Halloween Returns is really a sequel to a remake that was just never made, and there was other changes in that script to the original story. I don't know. I would suggest you read it.
I thought I read your breakdown, but I must be blanking. I must have Alzheimer's like Michael Myers.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it in there, and maybe it's just I've had a few beers and I'm not explaining things correctly right now, but.
Well, that is on the website also. The Halloween Returns movie we're supposed to get in 2016. I thought that was to pick up after the events of Halloween 2. I guess. No. It
has elements of Halloween 2 in it, like Gary Hunt is in it, the sheriff played by Hunter Von Leer, and then there's a Dr. Rogers in it, and Dr. Rogers was mentioned in Halloween 2 by Marion.
Mm-hmm.
But if you read the script, when it picks up, it's literally Michael's point of view outside of the Doyle house, rising up on the lawn, and then he follows this other victim across the street, and then it takes it to Hunt's house, and that's where he gets captured.
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to reread your breakdown because, yeah, that was one movie I was actually kind of looking forward to, but I had heard that it was gonna not skip over 2, so this is like a remake of 2. Yeah, that sounds interesting, especially if it takes place in the 80s. Although having modern technology takes you right out of the 80s.
Yeah, and there's no mention of like the sibling storyline, nothing like that. There's no mention of Laurie and Michael being related. Laurie's not even significant to the story at all.
She didn't need to be anymore. I don't know why that bothers. It seems to bother a lot of people that the sister storyline. I was always fine with it. It made sense to me. I don't know. Choose your own adventure. Which one are you going to watch? Halloween 2, Halloween 2018, or Halloween H2O after Halloween 2? Which would you prefer? Or Halloween 2007 and Halloween 2?
I would go with actually the one I go with the most is the timeline of Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6. I'm a big fan of Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, me too.
Love Donald Pleasance, and even though 4, 5, and 6 are arguably not very good movies, I have a good time watching them.
Yeah, I enjoy what happens with Jamie. I mean, 5 was a down.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as good. It was okay. There was some good things that came out of 5, but 6 is, for some reason, it's a shit movie, but I love it. It was the first one I ever saw in the theater. That may have something to do with it. But yeah, that's the path I follow. I never ever watch H2O or Resurrection almost at all. I was so disappointed seeing both of those in the theater. And Halloween 8, the more I watch the new one, 2018, the less I like it. So what about you, Jared?
I will just watch Halloween 3 and be okay with it.
Right on.
You know what? I like that answer. Keith?
Don't get me wrong, I like those movies, but yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm with Seth and you. I watch 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I haven't watched 4 and 5 the most. Sometimes I skip around. 6 I watch a lot. I like Curse just because it's weird.
It's very weird.
If I do watch H2O, I don't watch Resurrection. I can't even get through the first 5 minutes of that damn movie.
I actually like the beginning of Resurrection with him, stalking, finding Laurie, and then you got the guy who's obsessed with serial killers. I like that. I remember when it was going to be called Halloween Homecoming, and they had this whole...
that sounds better to me.
It does, and it made more sense because he came home from... Anyway, Resurrection's such a generic title. I think every horror movie's had a Resurrection. But Crank says 1, 2, 4, stop there for me. So, not a bad way to go. I mean, there's no wrong way to watch Halloween. It was cool this year. I have a tradition of watching Halloween on Halloween. I've done it for however long since I had the Blockbuster VHS tape. VHS tapes, Keith, are...
I know. There's a bunch of them right there.
Anyway, they released, I think it was in 95, maybe 96. They released, it was a VHS.
The double set, the orange ones?
No, it wasn't. It said Blockbuster on the side. It was exclusive to Blockbuster's close-up picture of Jamie since we're on first name
I know
basis.
which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the first copy I ever owned. My stepdad brought a copy back from Japan, actually, and we watched that a lot. But when he disappeared, good riddance. When he disappeared, I had to buy my own, and so as every Halloween since 95, 96, whenever it was, I'd watch Halloween, and then I'd watch Halloween 2. This year, I watched Halloween in 2018, back to back for the first time ever, and it just doesn't do much for me, watching them back to back. There's too big of a gap, in my opinion, to really make Halloween 2018 matter as much. I love these movies, I always have, but I don't know,
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It gets worse. So yeah, I like the old. We grew up with the old ones. It's just like anything else we grew up with. Jared likes that terrible Wes Craven movie, Shocker.
I do. I love it.
Seth likes. I don't know. What do you like that might be terrible?
I don't know. Ask anyone on the internet. I haven't checked with them yet. There's tons of movies. I like the Howlin' movies.
Oh yeah, do you love marsupials? Whew.
I don't love marsupials. No,
that movie's awful.
Who would like marsupials?
Who? Okay,
I know some people. Who
out there watching or whoever watches this likes marsupials? I will buy a copy. And no, I already have a copy.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Do you? I don't have it on Blu-ray.
I guess I need to watch this movie.
No, you don't.
It's Howling.
This.
What is it? Howling 5?
Oh,
Howling 3. This looks really badass, and I'm like, damn, that looks cool. No, it's not at all.
I think I've only ever seen the first one. I think
it's so fucking weird, man. 2 is worth watching, especially for the end credits. 5. 5's really good. Actually, I think is that Rebirth? No,
5 is Rebirth.
Is it okay? Yeah, that one's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, the Howling series isn't great. Keith, you like Never Hike Alone? That's a crap movie.
Wow.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that guy Vincente that does that movie. Oh my gosh.
Deshanty.
Chanty.
Darren Compton said he's the Dr. Loomis path, all about Donald. He's correct. Anyway, I think we're going to close it up for the night. It was fun with this special presentation of the Horror Syndicate talking about some Halloween kills. If you like this, let us know about another movie you'd like us to talk about, maybe upcoming, or we won't talk about what is it called? The Turned?
The Turning.
The Turning. We won't talk about that.
The Turning.
Maybe we'll talk about some other stuff. We did have a show before called THS Lives, but unfortunately, Mike Lombardo is deep in some dude's butt, so he can't come help us. Darren Compton also says Seth's my howling bud.
Yep.
So anyway,
Darren loves Howling 3.
The marsupials?
Yeah, he loves Howling 3.
Somebody likes this movie?
Yep. It's that guy. I sold him out.
That's funny.
I thought I had. I have this. I have the Howling trilogy. That's how I have marsupials on Blu-ray.
Man,
it's the only way to watch it too. Just so you guys know.
Man, that cover art.
Yeah, look at that. That guy right there.
God.
Terrible.
I paid for the Scream Factory Blu-ray.
They have a Blu-ray for the third one?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah, they have 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray.
I know they have the second one, but they're just shitting stuff out now? What's wrong with them?
People like me pay for it.
Right. But you're a glutton for punishment. So
That's true.
Anyway, I hope you all had a good time hanging out with us. We're going to get off here. And Keith, when I point to you, stop this shit. Okay? Don't forget to check us out on other stuff. This is the most important, Facebook, because we don't do Twitter very much. The Instagram, I don't mess with. It's all because of me. But I'm lazy. I got other stuff I'm doing. But you can get a T-shirt. And it's pinned in the top of the Facebook page. So look for the pinned post and get a Horror Syndicate T-shirt. They're badass. This is the newest one.
Nice big logo.
I love it. So anyway, that's it. You guys got any last words?
Nothing I can think of.
Awesome. Well,
I'm just shocked you didn't mention Tourist Trap when you were talking about movies people like.
Jesus Christ, what's with you in Tourist Trap?
It's so weird that I love it.
There's your weird movie. That movie's forgettable. Anyway, go ahead, cut it off. Thanks for watching, and maybe we'll do this again soon. Go ahead.